it's Sergeant Michael coming to you with the round one recap of E40 Season 4 going on. And we just finished round one yesterday. Lars posted up his America turn, so that noted the end of the round. So we'll go over a quick recap of what everyone did. We'll go in turn order here. So we'll start with Germany. Germany did a very generic turn. They took Paris, Yugoslavia, Bulgaria, Finland, and then they hit the British fleet. Now, the unfortunate thing that happened to Germany is they lost their battleship and a lot of planes in the Battle of Season 110. So it was unfortunate for them. But they did take out all the British fleet. They didn't take out the fleet in Season 109. They took out the Canadian fleet. The season fleet in 109 replaced that fleet. That's why there are no German subs there now. But then they slapped down a couple transports, pulling up a little transport fleet there, and sent some planes down to aid Italy. Now with the Vichy rolls, we were pretty fortunate. We got the destroyer and cruiser that were French, and we took Morocco and Tunisia from Vichy rolls. We did take southern France, but France decided to take that back, and they took that back flawlessly. So after them, Russia went. Not much to note. They sent all their stuff up to the front line. But interesting, since we're playing with railways now, that factories have railways, they were able to get a lot more stuff to the front than they would have, specifically here in Poland. They have a bunch of stuff there. And they didn't declare war on the Japanese this turn because they get national objective. That gives them incentive not to. So they're starting to shuffle their stuff down to Moscow to help with the German front. Eventually, one of these days they'll get there. One of these days. So after them, Japan went. Japan smacked China, as usual, as per usual. Normal moves there. Running into China. They also took French Indochina, and they did a J1. Landed here in the Philippines, and took that with the loss of one guy. They had a cruiser here that was sunk by the British, and, well, they destroyed the British battleship there, turn one. They also destroyed the Anzac fleet here. That destroyer that they sent down was destroyed, but now Anzac has no navy at all. They also amassed a huge navy here off the Caroline Islands. So Japan is looking ready and spicy. They're looking spicy. They can do a lot here. But after Japan, we have China going, and China sent all their stuff to the front line. They retook Yunnan with the loss of two guys, I believe, and they took out 4 Japanese units. So that was a big win for them. And that was really all China did. Then the UK went. Now this is the big story of the round. So what the UK did, they sunk my 2 German destroyers, as I said, or 2 German submarines in 106 with their destroyer. They sent this fighter over from Britain to help. They consolidated all of their land units basically in Egypt. Took Persia, sent some stuff up to Burma, sank the Japanese fleet in 37. So they've got planes here now in Malaya. I kind of shuffled that stuff up. But they got a couple planes now there in Malaya. They got a stack of dudes there in Burma. But what the story, this is damage, story of the round was Taranto. They went into Taranto with basically everything that you would take into Taranto, besides their aircraft carrier and a fighter. And they lost. And the reason they lost is the scramble. The 2 Italian planes and my German tactical here scrambled in that sea zone. The Italians were left with their battleship and my tactical bomber. So their battleship, fully restored, sank the British cruiser here, went and captured some of this stuff. So basically the Italians will control the Med for a while. But since the British didn't send their carrier into that battle, it was able to escape with the transport and meet up with the destroyer from South Africa, as well as the Indian fleet here. So they've got a pretty decent fleet there, and that's the fleet that was captured Persia. So then Italy went after Britain, and Italy decided to blitz into Alexandria and blitz back. just to capture that, so Britain can't land planes there. They took Somaliland, the British Somaliland, Kenya, and English Sudan. That's a national objective of theirs in this version. They took Algeria and Gibraltar with amphibious assaults. And then they also used the railway to get a pretty sizable stack of stuff into Romania, as Germany doesn't have a lot on the Russian front, which is pretty scary. So Italy's stepping up to the plate here, and they say, all right, if Germany's going to drop the ball we'll put on our big girl pants and we'll war for you. So that's what they're going to do. They're going to war for us in Romania. Sent a whole bunch of stuff there. So after Italy, America and France went, America decided to take Brazil since they're at war. They built a pretty sizable fleet there in 101. Moved all their stuff from central U.S. to the eastern U.S. And then over here, they shoved all of their starting ships in the Pacific basically into the Hawaiian Islands. So they are more than ready for Pearl Harbor. They didn't attack this, and they didn't have the ships from the Philippines to move out because those were destroyed. But everything else that they started with is currently in, actually, I think this fighter is also in Hawaii. I forgot that part. But everything else is there, and they've also loaded up some gentlemen there on a transport. Up to no good, obviously. So, that about sums it up. For round 1, I'll go ahead and I'm going to break the rulebook out and I'll check victory conditions. We don't start checking for victory conditions until after round 7, but I'm just going to see, I'm curious to see what we have and what we don't. So I'll check, I'll get back to you guys. Alright, so I opened up the big book of fun adventures here, also known as the E40 official rules book, I guess. And currently I believe the Axis have 9 victory points. So we have Tokyo, Berlin, Rome, Warsaw, Hong Kong, Paris, 6, Philippines, Shanghai, 8. Oh, we might have 10 right now. So we have those 8. The 10th is the Mediterranean, no allied territories adjacent to... Nope, that's not true, sorry. African Horn. So that's the 9th. Sudan, Kenya, Ethiopia, British Somaliland, Italian Somaliland. Sudan, Kenya, Ethiopia, Italian Somaliland, British Somaliland. So that's 9. By round 7, we have to get to 11, so we only need 2 more. We have 6 more rounds to hold on to what we have, plus 2 more victory points. We're going to see if the Allies let us get away with holding on to them for that long. I mean, 7 rounds is a lot of rounds. 1 round in the books, 6 to go before we start checking for victory. And you know what? It's going to be a swift Axis victory. I can foresee it. We've got our game plans. We've got our game plan. We're executing it, and the Allies don't stand a chance. So there you go. I hope you guys are enjoying it as much as I am so far. I'm about to go ahead and wrap this up and take Germany's turn. So with that, I hope to see you in the future video. Thank you for sticking around to the end. Make sure you subscribe, like the video, and make sure you sub to all the guys we're playing with that are playing this game. They're all awesome, and it has been a blast so far. Thanks for sticking around, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Sergeant Michael, saying peace out.